Hello Star Wars friends and YouTubers, our Biker's Cut coming at you another video. I'm going to be reading the Star Wars EU for what I have from beginning to end in order for the first time ever, really. I did it one other time, but it was like over 10 years ago, so it doesn't really count. There's so much stuff that's been published since then. There's a lot of gaps here and there, but I thought I'd share with you my thoughts on each series and whether I think it's worth picking up at all. This is the first series I want to talk about, Dawn of the Jedi. It takes place over 25,000 years before the original Star Wars movie or the Battle of Yavin. That's, if you don't know, on the EU, you always count your years, ending with the movies and everything. You count your years from the Battle of Yavin, that's year 0, and then you count backwards and forwards. Came out last year, 2012, and it is the earliest story ever in the Star Wars timeline. It's by two authors that are very familiar to the Star Wars universe, I should say, author and artist, John Ostrander and Jan Duursema. I could spend a lot of time going through this book and talking about it. There's so much to this because it's a brand new era, and we've only seen 2 comic series and 1 book from it so far. They could explore this ad infinitum, maybe make a game out of it, who knows what. But I'll talk about a few of the highlights, what I think are the highlights. The 0 issue came out just a couple weeks before the main issues, and what's good about this is you sort of get your feet wet on what is what. So first of all, the Jedi, not the Jedi, are part of this story, and these things here, Thorior, these things are almost like a mortise cube to me, but they're what actually, here's what it says. Over 36,000 years before the Battle of Yavin, 8 ancient pyramid ships traveled throughout the galaxy, gathering those who were strong in the Force. They gathered them into the deep core. Once on Tython, the ships orbited a 9th larger Thorior, and after a time dispersed to various regions of the planet. Force-sensitive sentients from many different species who settled on Tython became known as Tythons. So Tython is the main place where the Jedi are staying, not the Jedi again. And here's their code. There's no ignorance, there is knowledge. There's no fear, there is power. I am the heart of the Force. I am the revealing fire of the light. I am the mystery of darkness, in balance with chaos and harmony, immortal in the Force. So they're all on this one island, or one planet, I should say, and they have 2 moons to that. They have Jedi temples. You guys can pause and read some of this stuff if you're really interested, if you don't have this yourself. I can't go into every little detail because there's so much to it. Here's one of the main temples, your Turpa, the Forge. Here's some of the characters they get into. Here's the Quillan Kesh, the Chamber Force skills. That's a place. This is Tem Madog on the side. And that's actually one of the Sith, which is actually a species. If you don't know your old ancient history of Star Wars, Sith was once a species before it was like the dark side users. There's the Temple of Martial Arts. Here's another Jedi Academy. Here's the Temple of Balance. All these are in the Teth system. Ashla and Bogan, those are really old names that appeared as light and dark side mentions in the original drafts of Star Wars. I think it was mostly in the 2nd draft. So this ties in somewhat to the Star Wars that's coming out. Here's some of the ships that are in this series. And there they show the systems where the Jedi are. So there's various Tythos systems. They're on all these, but Tython is the main moon, the main planet, I should say, with the 2 moons. Ashla and Bogan, you go to the other one if you're feeling, so if you're dark, you want to go to the light side one, which is Ashla, and then if you're feeling dark, you want to go to the light side one, which is Bogan. So you've got the Desperate Roar, the Rakata. The Rakata are actually a group that originated the hyperdrive system in Star Wars, and they're mostly killed off by the time of the original movies, all the prequels, all that era. They also created these Force Sabers, which is the earliest version of the lightsaber, of course. And here is actually a Rakatan Overlord shown here. They were introduced in a nice little Republic game, which I'm not all that familiar with. I still have not yet played the game, and I'm probably going to skip everything beyond Dawn of the Jedi and Darth Plagueis, I'm probably going to skip quite a bit there when I go through this EU stuff, just because I'm not ready to delve into all that. But I do have the majority of the Dawn of the Jedi stuff. This is one of the Sith species here. Here's a Pureblood Sith, Senkos Wrath. Then we have Shakoda. I think her look is really cool. A lot of these looks really cool, so hopefully people do something with this. And then the main sort of dark side player or enemy, but actually he's a Force Hound under the command of Predator Tulakar. His name is Zesh. When the recurrent slave sets foot on Tython, you become a catalyst of events no one can anticipate. So that's who the first story, Force Storm, focuses on. I mean, there's so much it focuses on. It's not even funny. When I read it the first time, I didn't catch everything. Now, reading it all at once, it makes more sense to me. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on the actual series here. You got sort of an overview of whether you think this is going to be your cup of tea. I do want to talk about this issue, though. Issue 1 establishes a lot of different things, and it goes over 1,000 years even before the main story, and they talk about these on different planets. There's Ryloth with the Twi'leks, and there's Kashyyyk with some Wookiees, Dathomir there, and then there's Mon. They visited many worlds, and then they all the Force users went in there, and they went all to Tython, the original place where there was really the dawn of the Jedi, so to speak. As the millennia unfolded, the Jedi built a great civilization, establishing temple cities, seats of learning, and the healing, each centered on a Thor-Yor. So each one of these little ships. There's some more species. The children of the Jedi returned to Typhon to wage war. The despot Amri was great in number, but the Jedi had to force as their ally. The art is awesome. These guys, if you're not familiar with them, they've done Legacy before. They did the Republic series for many, many issues. There's a lot in here. This is what's really cool. This is it's a very quick little thing, but this is Tatooine. Here's Tatooine at the time, and it's got oceans, and you've got these here species right here. Those are the predecessors of both the Jawas and the Tusken Raiders, and it's their first appearance ever. So supposedly they evolved from that. That's based on a old Republic game. So there's only like 3-4 pages on Tatooine. That's really the setup issue for everything. Then we get into the main story. You can see here, this is actually like alchemy here, that they combine like a Krayt dragon and a Rancor. It's kind of crazy, but if you're in the Jedi time period, why not do it? Then you've got a pure Sith right on the cover there, number 3. And then it ends with the Force Hound and his saber knighted. Really, really cool. Darn it, I got folded. That sucks. This is just the first series. There's a lot of things they put in this series. I'm just going to flip through it. I'm not going to concentrate on anything here. But there's a lot of things you can see in this series that there's potential just to keep going and going with it. They're doing this little, like these mini story arcs. I'll talk about that more in the next video with the next series of this. Most of the species are familiar, but the concepts are not. They're even from the nice little Republic era or the Tales of the Jedi era. It's quite different from that. So we'll see where this goes. I hope you enjoyed this look at this series, Dawn of the Jedi Force Storm. And if you like this and want me to do more, I think I'm going to do it anyway, but let me know. Thanks. Until next time, may the Force be with you.